It's Dunken and Samm. We've got Heather, our good friend, who is a psychologist, on the phone this morning to help us out. We got a lot of parents calling and asking for advice on how to talk about the Ariana Grande terrorist attack. You know, Ariana Grande has a lot of young fans all around the world, and they're viewing this terrorist attack differently than others because they have a connection to this one. It involved their favorite singer.
Absolutely, and it may feel like an attack on them personally because it really was targeted at a different population. It was targeted at their population.
Mm-hmm. So how would you recommend a parent approaching this subject with their kids today?
Well, the first thing that's really important to do is find out what they know. Like, what are they seeing? You know, unfortunately, our kids almost know more than we do right now these days. And, you know, they have all the social media outlets and, you know, finding out what they know and what they think are facts and what are the actual facts. So being able to say, okay, what did you hear happened? And in their own words, how are they viewing this? How are they seeing this? And then once you know kind of what they know, then talk to them about what are they worried about? What are their fears? And put it in their own words, because I think the thing that we can do as parents often is we can take our own fears and we can give them to our children. You know, we can project them onto the kids. So when we look at a situation, we have our own thoughts about why is this, what does this mean? And so it's really important to just listen and A, understand what they know, and B, what are their fears about it.
That's excellent advice.
Yeah, it is.
And that's something that I think you're right. All parents do. They project their fears. You might talk to your kid and they might not have any fears at all, or they might not know anything about it. So you might be putting this pressure, this stress on them unnecessarily.
Right.
I've totally had this happen to me before, where something crazy happened to my little sister that totally mortified me. I had it happen to me when I was a kid, and here I am just bawling like, "Are you okay?" She's like, yeah. And I was like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "No, this is really scary."
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, she freaks out.
Then I'm like, parent fail or sister fail in this case, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yes. And that's, you know, and that's just kind of being able to have that empathetic listening and that, you know, that ear to hear, how are you feeling? What's going on? What do you think about this? And what can I help you with? You know, what do you want to know? And that's kind of the second fact is, I think, honesty. You know, it's not, we don't want to sit there and try to sugarcoat it and say, oh, this will never, you know, I also avoid parents, never give them, you know, the security that this will never happen to you, because you don't want to make comments that, I mean, we would hope in our heart of hearts that it would never happen here in Rochester, Minnesota, or to anyone that we're affected, or, you know, that we're in contact with, or, I mean, we hope it doesn't happen anywhere, but you never want to say this is never going to happen to you. What you can say is, you know, this is very rare. You know, we hear about this. I mean, these attacks, you know, attacks like this, or, you know, I don't really want to say attacks because I think that can put other ideas in their head. Mm-hmm. You know, situations like this happen, and when they do happen, we hear about it because it's all over the news. You know, but these are not things that happen every day. This is an abnormal event. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's really important to say that it's extremely rare that this happens, but you know, how do you protect yourself? How do you take care of yourself? And a lot of this depends on the age of a child. You're going to talk to, you know, I have two kids, you know, one's 8, one's 12. I'm going to talk with my 8-year-old a lot differently than I'm going to talk with my 12-year-old, you know, because of developmentally where they are and what questions they have. But the basic premise is you want to be honest, and you don't want to give any kind of false security, and you want to recognize what their fears are, you know, and how they may be feeling about it.
Good stuff. Thank you so much for joining us today, Heather.
Yeah.
Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Thanks, you guys.
106.9 KROC.